Hello everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Alex, and I'm here with Laura.
Hi everyone. It's really nice to have you with us. Wherever you are listening from, we hope you're feeling comfortable and relaxed right now.
Today, we want to talk about something that all of us think about from time to time, the future. Not the future in a stressful way, and not the future with pressure or big expectations. Just the future as a calm idea, something we can look at slowly and with curiosity.
When we hear the word future, many people immediately think about big questions. What job will I have? Where will I live? Will my life be successful? These questions are very normal. But sometimes, they can feel heavy. That's why, in this conversation, we want to take a softer approach.
Yes, exactly. We're not here to talk about perfect plans or big achievements. Instead, we want to talk about simple thoughts, small hopes, and realistic ideas about what might come next. The future doesn't have to be clear. It doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to feel honest.
This episode is also a chance for you to practice listening to English in a natural and relaxed way. You don't need to understand every word. Just listen to the rhythm, the ideas, and the feeling of the conversation.
So, take a deep breath, slow down, and stay with us. Let's begin by gently exploring how we imagine our future, one step at a time. So, when people talk about the future, the first question is often about work. Someone usually asks, "What do you want to be?" Or "What job do you want in the future?" It sounds like a simple question, but for many people, it's not so easy to answer.
Yes, I feel the same way. When I think about my future, I don't think about a specific job title. I don't imagine one clear position or one company. Instead, I think more about the kind of life I want to have and how work fits into that life.
For me, work in the future is about flexibility. I want a job that allows me to manage my time well. I want to have enough time to rest, to learn, and to enjoy my day, not just rush from one task to another. I don't need work to be perfect, but I want it to feel meaningful. I want to feel that what I do has some value, even if it's small.
That's interesting, because I think about work in a similar way, but from a different angle. For me, the most important part of work is people. I imagine myself working in an environment where I can talk, listen, and support others. It could be teaching, guiding, or helping in some way. The exact role may change, but the connection with people is what matters to me. I also think it's important to accept that our ideas about work can change over time. What feels right today may feel different in 5 or 10 years. And that's okay. The future is not a straight line. It's normal to explore, to try something new, and sometimes to change direction. Exactly. Many people feel pressure to decide everything early, but real life doesn't work like that. Skills grow, interests develop, and opportunities appear when we least expect them. Instead of asking, "What job will I have forever?" maybe a better question is, "What do I want to learn next?"
Yes, I really like that question. Thinking about work as a journey, not a final destination, makes the future feel lighter and more open. When we move away from job titles and career paths, another interesting question appears. What do we actually want our daily life to feel like in the future? Not just where we work, but how we live from morning to night.
For me, the idea of a future day is very calm. I imagine waking up without rushing. I don't want to start my day feeling stressed or already tired. I see myself making a simple breakfast, maybe drinking coffee or tea, and taking a few quiet minutes before work begins. That slow start feels important to me.
I like that image. My future mornings are a little different, though. I imagine starting the day with more energy. I like movement and sound, so maybe some music in the background or a short walk outside. I think an active morning helps me feel focused and positive for the rest of the day.
Even though our mornings are different, there's something similar there. We both want balance. We don't want days that are too busy or too empty. In the future, I hope my work and personal life are not separated by stress. I want them to flow naturally.
Yes, and I also think about evenings. In my ideal future, evenings are quiet and simple. Time to relax, read, or talk with people I care about. Nothing too complicated, just space to slow down again.
That's true. When we imagine the future this way, it doesn't feel far or unrealistic. It feels like a collection of small moments. And maybe that's what a good future really is, not one big success, but many peaceful days that feel right.
When people talk about the future, travel often comes up very quickly. Many conversations focus on one simple question: where do you want to go? But for me, travel in the future is not only about places on a map. It's more about curiosity and how we choose to experience the world.
I understand that. I don't think travel always needs to be fast or exciting. In my ideal future, travel is slow. I imagine staying in one place long enough to understand it a little. Not just visiting famous spots, but watching how people live their daily lives. How they eat, how they greet each other, how they spend their evenings.
Yes, exactly. For me, travel is a way to learn without sitting in a classroom. When we travel, we listen more, we observe more, and we become more open. I like the idea of feeling slightly uncomfortable at first, because that's when real learning happens.
I feel the same, but I also enjoy variety. Short trips can be meaningful too. Even a few days in a different environment can change how we think. New food, new sounds, new routines, they help us see our own habits more clearly. Sometimes, travel doesn't change who we are, but it helps us understand ourselves better.
That's a very good point. I also think language plays an important role in travel. In the future, I don't need to speak perfectly, but I want to communicate respectfully. Simple words, polite expressions, and a genuine effort can create real connections. Even small conversations can feel special.
Yes, and cultural curiosity doesn't only come from traveling far away. We can experience it in small ways too, through books, music, films, or conversations with people from different backgrounds. Travel is a mindset, not just a movement.
Exactly. When we think about travel like this, the future feels richer and more open. It's not about collecting destinations. It's about collecting understanding, memories, and moments that quietly stay with us. When we think about the future, it's easy to focus on external things like work, travel, or where we live. But another important part of the future is personal growth, the quiet changes that happen inside us over time.
For me, personal growth in the future is not about becoming someone completely different. It's more about becoming a calmer and more confident version of myself. One skill I really want to continue developing is communication. Not just speaking clearly, but expressing ideas with confidence and listening with real attention. I think good communication improves every part of life.
I agree. For me, learning new skills is closely connected to creativity. In the future, I want to explore skills that allow me to create something, even if it's simple. Writing, storytelling, or visual design are things that interest me. I don't need to be perfect at them. I just want to enjoy the process of learning and expressing ideas in new ways.
That's an important point. Many people don't try new skills because they are afraid of being bad at the beginning. But the beginning is always uncomfortable. In fact, feeling uncomfortable often means we are learning. In the future, I want to be more patient with myself and accept mistakes as part of growth.
Yes, and I also think growth doesn't need to be fast. We often feel pressure to improve quickly, but real change usually happens slowly. Small habits, repeated over time, are more powerful than sudden big efforts. Practicing a little each day can be enough.
Another skill I want to improve is learning how to learn. Understanding what works for me, when I focus best, and how I stay motivated. This kind of awareness helps with any new skill, whether it's language learning, creative work, or personal development.
I like that idea. The future doesn't need a long list of goals. Sometimes, it's enough to choose one or two skills and grow with them gently. When we see personal growth as a long journey, not a test, the future feels less stressful and more meaningful. We've talked a lot about the future in a broad and gentle way. Now, let's bring the future a little closer. Not next year, and not in 10 years, but this week and this month. These small moments are where real change actually begins.
Yes, I like thinking about the near future because it feels manageable. When I think about this week, I don't make big plans. I focus on simple actions. For example, I plan to spend a little time each day reading or listening to something interesting in English. Even 10 or 15 minutes feels enough.
That sounds realistic. For me, this week is about creating space. I want to take short walks, especially in the evening, to clear my head after the day. It's not exercise in a strict way. It's more about slowing down and being present, even for a short time.
When we think about this month, the idea is similar. I don't want to change everything at once. I choose 1 or 2 small goals. Maybe finishing a book, starting a simple routine, or practicing a skill a few times a week. These goals don't feel heavy, and that's important.
Exactly. The near future is about consistency, not pressure. Many people wait for the perfect moment to start something new, but that moment rarely comes. Small actions today are much more powerful than big plans that stay in our heads.
I also think it's helpful to be flexible. Some weeks are busy, and plans change. That doesn't mean we failed. It just means we adjust and continue. Progress doesn't need to be perfect.
Yes, and when we look back after a few weeks or months, we often realize that these small steps quietly made a difference. The near future may seem simple, but it's where the foundation of a good future is built. As we come to the end of our conversation, it feels like a good moment to pause and reflect. Talking about the future doesn't have to feel heavy or stressful. When we approach it gently, it can actually feel comforting and even a little inspiring.
Yes, I feel the same. When we stop thinking about the future as a big test we have to pass, it becomes much easier to face. The future is not something we need to control completely. It's something we slowly move toward, one small choice at a time.
We talked about work, daily life, travel, personal growth, and small plans for the near future. None of these ideas were perfect or final, and that's the point. The future can change, and we can change with it. There is nothing wrong with adjusting our direction as we learn more about ourselves.
Exactly. And now, we'd like to gently invite you, our listener, to take a moment for yourself. You don't need to think about your entire life. Just think about one small future plan. It could be something you want to do this week, something you want to learn, or a small habit you want to try.
If you'd like, you can share that thought with us. Leave a comment and tell us one simple idea you have for your future. It doesn't need to be impressive. Simple and honest is more than enough.
Thank you for spending this time with us and for practicing your English today. Keep listening, keep learning, and most importantly, be kind to yourself as you move forward.
We'll see you next time.